Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you guys for hanging tight. Sorry we're a couple minutes late, running into some technical issues with the stream, but we're back. We're here, up and running. I got John here, and of course this is Simon with HSE. And we got some really exciting stuff to show you guys today. We're demonstrating our AgroSol software.
Thank you guys for...
Hey, we got a echo.
Yep. Can you guys hear me okay? Any echo there?
I could hear you, but...
Okay.
Okay.
I think it's sounding pretty good now. Let's see here.
Did you have the volume up in the other window? Because I think it was like us starting.
Oh, possibly. I'm not sure. I did have the phone on over here. I think we're good. No problem. Yeah. So we're here. We're basically ready to go. I want to demonstrate this software. So this is the software designed for our agricultural spraying drones. This is going to be for our Ag 110, our Ag 116, and our Ag 122. And of course, if you guys do have any questions while we go through this demonstration, I'd love for you guys to post in the comments below. And John, of course, if you have any questions or anything you want to bring up while I'm talking, please do. But I'll go ahead and start with actually creating a flight plan. You guys can see the software up in the background here. And I'll quickly go through some of the basics here. There's 3 tabs at the top here where you see my mouse. We have our Operations tab, our Planning tab, and our Maintenance tab. Our Operations tab is where all of our drones are actually displayed, and this is where we actually control our drones and operate our drones from. And our Planning tab here is where we actually create our flight plans. Let's zoom in a little bit here. So I'll take a deep dive into the Planning tab in just a moment here. And finally, the Maintenance tab. This is where we can actually see some of the maintenance items in our drones. We can see all of our drones, the total flying hours, the calibration that may be required, and logs are all done in the Maintenance tab. Let's go ahead and jump into the Planning tab. Okay, so I did already create a mission here. And you can see there's actually 2 areas, but let's go ahead and create a new one just south of these. So we're going to use our Google Maps option here to create our area. There are a few different ways that you can create an area using this software. So you can create one internally, and we're going to do that now. So we'll click our little rectangle for our area, and we'll begin drawing our shape. And all you do is tap on the map. It's very simple. And we can simply create our area just like so. And all we do is close out the shape by clicking on the first point. And there's our area. Let's go ahead and create one more. Now, you'll notice there's a 1 and a 2 blinking dots here, and these are actually our drones. And what I'm showing here is actually a simulation of the drone. This is a simulator that's built into AgroSol. It's a great feature. I really love this option because it allows me to do things like this, showing you how to operate the software without actually having to be in the field. It's something I really, really enjoy doing. And once we create our areas, you can see we're able to hover over them, and it gives us a little preview of the area. So we're actually going to click on it, and it's going to give us some more options. Let's zoom out just a little bit here. So we can move our starting location. We can move our landing location. We'll just set it right here for now. And there's all sorts of options here. And John, I know that you've been learning a lot about all these various features within the software and the options that you have. Do you want to talk a little bit about the types of options here, the section, swath, buffer, etc.? We can talk a little bit about that.
Before that, just do you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfect.
Okay, there's a chat that said that my audio was faint, so I did a couple things on my end. Hopefully
Got it. I think I can turn you up just a little bit here. Let me see what I can do. Okay, that should be a little bit louder.
All right, mic check 1, 2. Guys, let me know if that sounds okay. And thank you, Marcus, for that. Appreciate that. I would say a lot of I was listening to you, and I was about to jump in, but I just wanted you to finish. I get the question a lot, actually, before we go there, like this map in general. It's Google Maps, right?
Hmm.
When we're looking at what we're looking at, a lot of people will kind of ask me that very, very basic question, like, what is your software pulling from? Where are the maps from? And then you also mentioned something about moving where the drone lands and the whole control feature
Hmm.
click that we have. I wanted to make sure we mentioned that. So it is Google Maps, right?
Exactly. It is Google Maps. There are other options for maps as well, and something that we're, really excited about is integrating external maps as well. So that's something that's coming soon with these systems. Um,
It's coming.
yeah, that's right.
But to go back to your question up there, yeah. So there's the. I thought it was really cool when I was first tweaking with it. Asking you, Simon, like, what in the world is what's a buffer?
Right. And there are a lot of settings here that the user can adjust. It's really, really user friendly. And you can see I'm going around making all sorts of changes here, changing the direction and the starting point and the landing point. And really, I think the bottom line here is this system really allows you to oh no, let me save that. Cancel. Hit the checkbox. There we go. Now that's saved. This system really allows for the user to set the area to their needs, right?
Yeah, so
So,
like obstacles, I get that question a lot. They're like, "There's
right,
a telephone pole right in the middle. How we go? What do you do?" And it's very simple because you literally just tell the drone there's a pole there, and it'll tell you what's the best route around that, based on the coverage area and the swath and
exactly.
the angles of, I mean, even like if I could imagine, like if I had a vineyard and I wanted to make sure I went right down that row. I
That's
mean,
right.
I could literally see that graph. I could move my swath. I could adjust my angle, adjust my buffer. I mean, I could get that grid right over my vineyard, my crop. I mean, precisely with this technology.
That's right. And you had a question about obstacles here, and you can see here I'm in obstacle mode, and I can simply set obstacles anywhere along my map here. So I've
Oh
set
wow.
2 obstacles here. It's very, very easy. I can actually click on each individual obstacle, and it allows me to change the radius for each obstacle, so I can
Oh
make them
man,
bigger or smaller.
I didn't even get that far into it. That's really
It's
neat.
really, really straightforward. You can make it a very large obstacle, and it allows you to set the mission to fly around those obstacles, just like that.
Hmm.
Let's go. Get out of obstacle mode there. And as you can see, it's very, very easy to create multiple areas. And on the left-hand side here, you can see all of these areas that we're seeing, area 0, 1, 2, and 3, are under this specific customer. So we're able to add as many customers as we want. You can see as I deselect it, all the areas go away, so they're not cluttering your screen. And you can select a customer and it will display all the areas. So you can add as many customers as you want, and it allows you to easily export this customer by using the gear button as a file. And you'll notice there's other utilities here too. You can import a file, so you could import like a KML or a shapefile. You can also export this file as a KML, or you can export as a AgroSol file, which can be used on a different computer, and you can bring over all of the settings from this mission. So super, super intuitive and easy to use.
So hey Simon,
Yeah.
before we go any further, they're saying I'm still pretty faint.
Let's see if I can adjust you a little bit higher.
Since you can hear me okay, there's a great question about why set an obstacle if there's obstacle avoidance. And obstacle avoid. I mean, you might have to reiterate this, but obstacle avoidance is just going to stop the drone, and then you're going to have to manually tell it what to do at that point. You want to set your obstacle so that way it flies around it, finishes the mission without stopping. Right?
Exactly, exactly. So
you might have to reiterate that. I don't know if they can hear me okay or not, but
got it. So you're absolutely right, John. So the obstacle avoidance, and this goes for most systems on the market, is a safety device used to prevent the aircraft from flying into something. It's not something that should be used to actually have the aircraft automatically fly around obstacles. The key here is planning your mission. The drone does exactly what you
too,
right, right.
I mean, we're pilot. At the end of the day, we're still a pilot. Um, right? So
That's right.
mitigate risk, and to mitigate risk, we have this amazing software that lets us mitigate risk in every possible way you could imagine.
Exactly. And if for any reason the obstacle is not marked, of course you have the obstacle avoidance there to protect you. It's going to help in a lot of cases if that were to happen.
Your safety net, right?
It's your safety net, exactly.
I mean, if I was going to practice a high wire trick, I'm not going to do it without a harness.
Exactly. Exactly. So let's jump back in here. You can see I'm simulating my drones here. I'm actually going to select two of these areas for my drones to fly. So let me go ahead and click the upload button. You can see my drones are right here. I have both my drones down here. And I actually already have some areas selected for these drones. So let's go back to the Operations tab. And you can see I have two areas selected for these drones. It's actually Area 0 and Area 1. I already set them up for this demo. And the operation, once the mission is sent to the drone, is so simple. Again, there's no controller or anything required with this system. All you do is hold down the arm button and then hold down the takeoff button.
Awesome.
And we can do that for both.
About how the drone, a lot of times with the drone, it's going to take off and land in the same spot in most applications. Not always our application, because we might be moving down a crop. But talk a little bit about how our software is set up to default to land, and then you have to hold the control if you want to move it off. It's just a nice.
Sure. Yeah. So there's quite a few options once the aircraft is flying for things that you can do. As you can see, we can see the aircraft are going along their route right now, and we're able to do a couple things. We can pause the aircraft, for example, using this button here, and you'll see when I hit that button, the aircraft is going to pause immediately. You're going to see the drone stops, and it also created a new start point. Because anytime the aircraft mission is aborted or it's paused, for any reason, whether it's a low chemical, low battery, or you stop it, it always remembers where it left off. So that's why we see that new start point. Once we pause it, we're able to actually select this little arrow button, and we can actually, you can see here, it gives us some instructions. We can click on the map to move the drone. So for example, if I click on the map over here to the left, you'll see the drone is actually going to fly to that point which I clicked. There's also a feature using the same button here where you can use the keys on your keyboard to move the aircraft. So you can use the WASD keys to move the aircraft. It might be hard to see, but it is actually moving. I'm holding down the W key and it's moving forward. You can use the up and down arrows to change the height, and the left and right arrows to change the direction. So really, really cool. You can also resume the mission, of course, from here. You can just hold down the resume button, and it will simply go right back to where it stopped and resume its mission.
Okay, but Simon, what about manual remote control? I need to be able to fly this thing because I fly around dams, or I'm spraying on the side of pavement. I'm flying indoors, I'm
right.
I'm spraying I'm flying
of course.
playgrounds. I'm flying around billboards. Like, I'm flying over roofs. Like, I don't need this. This is great, but I don't need it. I need a controller.
Of course. So, of course, there's also a controller included with the system. There is a controller included with the system.
It's a Yearling controller. It's got a nice screen on it. It integrates well with a GoPro style light camera that's 4K. You can record with it. We can even add an extra camera, right? So if you needed two different angles.
Yeah, the system has a dual stream capability, so it is actually possible to add two cameras. And the controller, like you said, has a screen built in, and it's also used for the FPV camera system.
By the way, I think I'm still slightly faint, so I'm letting you do most of the talking.
Oh, no problem. And I do have your volume turned all the way up, so unfortunately, I don't know if there's anything I can do. Yeah. Again, like you said, it may not take 3, 4, or even 5 times to get our live stream perfect, but I think we're getting closer. I think we're getting closer and closer. We're getting better.
I'm just happy that we have some questions coming into the chat. So
great. Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you guys for putting questions in the chat. And again, any questions, post them there. And if for some reason you're not watching this video live, you can always contact us on our website, hse-uav.com. There's all sorts of ways for you to contact us there, so we'll be happy to help you from there. But let's go back to our mission here. You can see the drones are doing their little path, they're flying along, and there's all kinds of information that we can see here as they're operating. We can see the total gallons up here where my mouse is, the total gallons that have been outputted, the total acres that have been outputted. We can also see the height, the battery voltage, the speed, the current gallons per minute that the pump is targeting. And as you can see, we're flying 2 drones right now. You can actually fly up to 4 with a single ground station. So your area that you can cover is pretty amazing. You can cover a lot of area with these systems, especially when you implement swarming. And a couple more things I want to talk about in the planning tab here. You can see, even if I go back to my planning tab, I'm able to start working on other areas while the drones are already flying. You can still see them in the planning tab moving around.
Hey, Simon.
Sure, yeah.
I need you to reiterate the answer I gave about the obstacle avoidance and why you would map it out as opposed to, because I'm not sure
if they could hear you. Got it.
So,
sure, yeah. So the obstacle avoidance, we always plan for obstacles. We always mark our obstacles in our area. As you can see, area 2 here has a couple obstacles set up within the area. Any obstacles must be planned. The obstacle avoidance sensors on board the aircraft are designed as a collision avoidance system to protect the aircraft. What the aircraft will do in the event that it detects an obstacle is that the aircraft will stop and hover and wait for an input. So there's a couple ways that you can input an input to the aircraft to fly around an obstacle. You can use the pause button and tell it to move, or you can use a controller and fly it manually. And from there, you can resume your mission. But it's extremely important to plan for obstacles. Realistically, the technology that's available currently to be able to fly around obstacles effectively is very difficult. It's just not reliable to the point where we would feel comfortable implementing it into a drone the size of our spraying drones, which the largest models can be 130 pounds fully loaded. So it's always critical to plan for your obstacles, and you have the additional safety feature of the obstacle detection, obstacle avoidance to protect you in case you mismark an obstacle or forget to mark an obstacle. I hope that answers that question a little bit better.
I would just reiterate, I don't know if they can hear me yet, but I think it makes more sense to plan for that obstacle, because then your drone will automatically figure out the best path around it and still get the area covered.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
I want to re-say that because I don't know if they can hear me.
Right. So yeah, again, if you plan for an obstacle ahead of time, the mission that's created is going to be set up in such a way that the aircraft will fly around the obstacle in an effective way. So that you're not missing any areas, because the way that
he got it.
Yeah, and the way that the pump system works is that when it's flying around an obstacle that's mapped, the pump automatically shuts off when it's not needed. So you're not overspraying certain areas.
Yeah, it's almost like it just puts a hole in the flight path right there, and it just kind of goes around it and then restarts the pump. So.
Exactly. And another thing that I've something that I've used to compare the obstacle detection is it's a lot like modern cars with their automatic braking, right? It's there as a safety device to protect you and protect your investment, really, because you're investing, a bit of money into these spraying systems, and the last thing you want is to make a mistake in your flight plan and have the aircraft potentially fly into something. And that's what that obstacle detection is there for.
I think we also need to point out the fact that these things are pretty sophisticated, right?
They are
pretty complex, but they're not AI. We as operators still have to give it input and tell it what to do.
Right, and that is something to consider. Of course, if you're in the United States, you have to be a drone operator with a Part 107 license to operate these. So you're still acting as a pilot. And in most regulatory environments, it's required to keep a visual line of sight of the aircraft and have the ability to take over control of the aircraft at any time, which the system allows you to do.
Yeah, so Simon, also, can the obstacle size be increased? Yes, it can. If you want to
Yes.
reiterate that real quick.
Yes,
And
absolutely. So the obstacle size can be increased, decreased. You can add as many obstacles as you need. In a lot of cases, depending on the shape of the field, in some cases, we might set up multiple flight plans. If there's, for example, an obstacle that spans the entirety of the field, we would set up one flight plan on one side of the obstacle and another flight plan on the other side of the obstacle. So it really depends on the situation that you're in, how you create this flight plan.
yeah, and also if you think about your flight plan, and if you're at a 2 gallon an acre spray rate, 6 gallon tank, you're going to be covering what, 2.5, 3 gallons, or sorry, 2.5, 3 acres of flight. So
Right.
you can map out your flight plan around your obstacles to fit, your field.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And you guys can see now the aircrafts have actually both finished their operation and they've actually come back to their landing point and landed automatically. So, of course, if we were actually operating these aircraft, we would go back out, refill the tanks, swap out batteries, and continue along our daily operations. So, it's an extremely simple operation. There's two steps to the operation. You arm the aircraft and you tell it to take off. Everything else is done completely autonomously. There's no additional pilot input needed after you tell it to take off. Of course, all of these flight plans, like I showed you in the planning tab, let me go back to it, are saved as a customer. So you can export these files, you can send them to another machine if you need to, and you're able to swarm using these missions. You're even able to, I'll show you guys real quick, let's take Area 0. You're able to section an area into multiple sections. So let's say Area 0 is too large for one drone. You could, for example, make it in two separate sections. And when I click Save, you'll notice that Area 0 now has two separate sections within one area. So we could actually fly this area with two separate drones. It makes it really, really simple, and you can add as many sections as you need. It makes it really, really simple and easy to cover large areas in an agricultural operation. Do we have any other questions coming in so far? Or let me see.
Mark said thank you, and I said thank you for the question, and then I just letting everybody know that I just put in the chat that we have a demo coming up this Friday.
That's right. Yes.
11 a.m. I know we're getting to the end of this, and we'll do. I don't want to talk too much. I should let you take over, but I was gonna say we'll do more of these and more in depth where we. But I just want to kind of mention maybe a little bit about our demo that's coming up, if that's cool.
Sure. Yeah, I'll talk about our demos. So we do live demos just like this Lunch and Learn at least once a month. You can find our events calendar on our website. At the very top, there's an events calendar. You can RSVP for the live demos and these Lunch and Learns. If you want to see more, of course, you can always, really the best way for you guys not to miss anything is to just subscribe to our YouTube channel and ring the little bell. Yeah, enable the notifications. That's going to notify you as soon as we go live. Most of our videos are live. We like to have a strong interaction with our customers. So our demos in the field of actually operating this drone are going to be live, and you're able to ask any questions just like you are now. Let's see, our next demo is going to be this Friday, February 5th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And we'll be actually operating the Ag 122, which is our largest spray drone model. I'll do another quick introduction into the software then, but we're actually going to show the aircraft flying and spraying in the live demonstration.
Hey, are we going to be able to pipe me in the way we did for this?
Absolutely, yeah, John. I think you can be there as well.
Work on the audio.
Yeah, we'll have to check out your audio after this call. It's odd because I can hear you perfectly, so we'll have to do some investigation as to why our viewers can't quite hear you. But hey, we're learning every time, and this is it's part of the process. We're getting better and better at it. Pretty soon, hopefully, we'll have no hiccups whatsoever. Right?
Yeah,
That's right. And again, guys, if you have any other questions about our AgroSol software, there are some more videos on our YouTube page, so check out our past videos that we've posted, and there's a lot more information on our website as well. If I've said it already, but I'll say it one more time, hse-uav.com. You can find it in the description below, or just type it up in Google. You should be able to find us very easily if you search crop spraying drones. And again, this is just a very quick demonstration of this software, but I think you guys get the idea of just...
finish on Friday.
That's right. And you guys can see just how easy this system is to use. So It's
They
a
love
really
the two talking
straightforward.
heads for the stream.
What's that?
And we got a comment saying that they love the two
The talking heads? I love it too. I know. We finally got our green screens working properly. I'm not wearing a green shirt like I did last time. That was
I know, you have a green shirt. We saw
that was a mistake. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got my daughter's baby Yoda, and you can see right through his head if I were to pick him up.
That's right. Yeah, we got to be careful now. Again, we're learning. We're still learning. This is only our fourth live stream, I think.
They want to see the drone access to the AgroSol, to loading the flight plan, flying it. Yeah, we're gonna. That's what we do. I don't know how much I could say, but go ahead and explain kind of what our
sure.
Because it sounds like this is
absolutely. So again, when you join us on our live demo on Friday, we're going to have the actual drone there. We're going to create a flight plan on site. We're going to upload it to the drone. We're going to go through all of the workflow that's required to actually start a spraying operation mission from start to finish. And you'll see that we'll be able to do the whole operation in about 20 minutes. It's extremely, extremely easy. And the beauty with spraying drones is once that area is saved, it's saved for good. You can use it as many times as you need, and the drone is going to be accurate every time. It's going to be spot on every time. It's a robot. It will do the same thing over and over and over again and never get tired. So that's really the beauty of spraying drones. It's extremely consistent and very repeatable. But I think we're coming up on our 30 minutes here. We'll probably close it out here. Again, any other questions? Contact us, hsc-uav.com. You'll find a link in the description. And join us for our demo on Friday. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you get notifications when we go live. All right, guys, I'll go ahead and stop the stream now. Join us next Monday for our next Lunch and Learn, and, of course, Friday for our live demo. Yeah.
Tuesday.
I'm sorry. Tuesday. There we go. Thank you, John. Next Tuesday, noon Eastern for Lunch and Learns. Fridays 11 a.m. Eastern for the demos. Yeah. And we'll post a description on our events calendar on our website. But All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for all the great questions, and we'll see each other again soon. Bye, guys.